This morning, new fallout after Republican Vice Chair Liz Cheney dropped a big bombshell at the end of Tuesday's January 6th committee hearing, suggesting former President Trump attempted to tamper with an unnamed committee witness.
President Trump tried to call a witness in our investigation, a witness you have not yet seen in these hearings. That person declined to answer or respond to President Trump's call.
A Trump spokesperson blasting Cheney, accusing her of trafficking in innuendos and lies without specifically responding to her statement. At the start of the hearing, Cheney aiming to pin responsibility for the former president's actions on him, not outside advisors.
President Trump is a 76-year-old man. He is not an impressionable child.
The hearing also included new taped testimony from former Trump White House counsel Pat Cipollone.
That I believe he should concede the election at a point in time. Yes, I did.
In one of the most dramatic moments, the committee reconstructing an explosive 6-hour White House meeting from December 18th, 2020, when Cipollone and others interrupted an unsupervised Oval Office discussion between Mr. Trump and outside advisors, pushing false claims of election fraud and calling on the president to seize voting machines.
You're asking one simple question as a general matter. Where is the evidence?
The committee arguing this tweet sent hours after that meeting where Mr. Trump called for a, quote, big protest in D.C. on January 6th. Be there, will be wild, triggered prominent far-right groups to start planning.
He is now calling on we the people to take action,
including the extremist group, the Oath Keepers. Also testifying, Stephen Ayers, a former Trump supporter charged with disorderly conduct for entering the Capitol. Ayers saying he was following Mr. Trump's orders.
Well, basically, the president, got everybody riled up, told everybody head on down. So we basically were just following what he said.
Well, the committee also aimed to show there was more planning that went into January 6th than originally thought, saying prior to the riot, Mr. Trump reviewed a draft of a tweet in which he directly called the crowd to march to the Capitol after his speech. Now, that tweet was never sent, but the committee suggested it's just one piece of evidence showing Mr. Trump and his inner circle had discussed plans for him to go to the Capitol after he spoke to the crowds that day.
So, Kristen, here's the thing. 7th hearing so far, a committee announcing that next week is going to be in prime time. That hearing's going to be in prime time. What can we expect from that one? Do we know yet?
We do have some information, Craig. This is only going to be the second primetime hearing so far. It's expected to be incredibly emotional. It's going to focus on the 187 minutes of the attack, a minute-by-minute recounting of how that horrific day unfolded and how the president, for hours, despite the urging of his top aides, refused to take action, refused to call off the rioters. And just taking a step back, on a personal note, I was at the White House that day, and I can tell you that a number of staffers actually had tears in their eyes. They were openly outraged and so disappointed that their boss was not taking action. I think the big question is this the last hearing? The committee chair said it's the last one at this point, so stay tuned.
Okay, so some people have been watching all of these hearings and wondering, I see what's happening. What's the point? What's the end game? What do they want as a result? Is this a criminal Are they expecting criminal charges? That's the key question, Hoda. I can tell you that the Attorney General has said he is watching these proceedings very closely. But will there be criminal charges? Look, these allegations of witness tampering may be the most legally problematic for former President Trump. The committee is trying to show that there was a pattern between the former president and his allies of witness tampering. But I've also been talking to former prosecutors who say at this point they have seen a lot of circumstantial evidence that has been presented at this hearing, but it's still an open question whether there's enough direct evidence, and that's the key, direct evidence against the former president for the Department of Justice to bring criminal charges. All right, Kristen Welker for us. Kristen, good to see you.
Good to see you both.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Find your favorite recipes, celebrity interviews, uplifting stories, shop our favorite deals, and so much more with the Today app. Download it now.